my gosh. This little filter is so cute. I think I'm supposed to dance with it, but does it turn? Oh my gosh, it turns. Okay, all right. So I actually am not here to dance around. This is a video that I previously made, and I guess it got deleted or didn't really go through on TikTok. So I'm just trying to do another one. But this is more of like, oh my god, it's so funny. This is more of like, you know, just I guess a walk down memory lane of 2020 to 2021, 2022, and now 2023. Just note to self, if you want to watch the longer version of this, I did just do a live stream on YouTube, but I'm too lazy to go and download that and then put it on here. So I'm just going to try and do like a quicker version here. So just this is just like my quick take on what's going on right now. And if you ever need a perspective on what I'm observing on a lot of people around me in different countries and how everyone's feeling about the economy, I definitely feel like 2023 is terrible. It's the worst. I would say 2020 was like here. I just started like here because like, actually no, it started like here because 2020 everybody was like freaking out about like, do we have vaccines? Like, will we ever be able to make one in 2020 in March? Like everybody was freaking out like we're all gonna die. That was like March of 2020, right? Like that was crazy. Pandemic. People were fighting over toilet paper. And then all of a sudden, and that was like March also, I think everybody was selling off their stocks and stuff. And like everyone was scared. Crypto as well. Then in April, they started to cut rates, right? The Federal Reserve started to cut rates, and we just saw this crazy like V-shaped recovery. And things started to get better from like April 2020, and all of a sudden all these companies started to grow in 2020, and there was hope of like the vaccines, and things were just starting to get better even though we're still living in a pandemic. And then 2021 with all the stimmy checks and everything, it's like people just all had so much money, and even though we're still in a pandemic and depending on where you were living, it's like you couldn't really even go out to restaurants and stuff, and everybody had a mask on in 2021. It wasn't that bad financially, right? And there was a lot of jobs. There were a lot of people getting hired for things. 2022, beginning of it, there was still a lot of jobs. Like people were still getting hired for a lot of things. But you started to see things change, like just kind of going downhill from 2022 all the way down towards the end of 2022 when like FTX failed, right? And also remember in 2021 also things were so good for like all crypto because November was like the all-time high for like Bitcoin at 69,000. That was 2021. So it's kind of like 2021 things were amazing, great, like money-wise, but then not really good humanity-wise because like there were a lot of people dying. 2022 was like just starting to get worse and worse, right? Remember that? It was like people all of a sudden recognize, oh my god, inflation's terrible. It was so hard to afford all of these things. And I mean, by the way, we're still living in that in 2023, but 2022 things started to get bad. And then you see stock market dropping, crypto dropping. And just when you think that 2022 was like really bad, 2023, I personally think, just self-observation, much worse in the sense that I know more people having money problems and living paycheck to paycheck now in 2023 compared to 2022, and there are so many people who can't find jobs in the fields that they lost in like 2022 because there were so many job cuts in 2022, especially in the tech industry. There are tons of people who cannot find jobs, and I'm not saying there are no jobs out there, but there are a lot of jobs that I guess nobody wants to work, probably because it doesn't make them enough, or they don't feel like it makes them enough to actually buy the more expensive grocery. So every time I go to a grocery store, it just feels like there's nobody working cash, and there's like just such a lack that you're always gonna see like help wanted signs, right? If you go to a restaurant, okay, we need more servers. If you go to a grocery store, we need more people working cash or like stocking stuff. It's just the service industry is like lacking so many workers. And yes, there were wage increases. I'm not sure about everywhere else, but definitely in California. But it also does not feel like it is enough compared to how much more you're now paying for milk and gas compared to previous years. Yeah, life is just really expensive. I even know people right now that are going through bankruptcy in 2023. There's tons of people who make a lot of money, more than $300,000 a year, that find it either tough to buy a home or just cannot earn a home because everyone that they're fighting with to get the homes are buying it full cash. And unless you have that much money, which unfortunately, unless you are a trust fund baby or you have a lot of family money, even if you worked, you know, for a couple of years and you're earning like $400,000 a year, it's hard. It's still very, very hard to buy out a home that's like $2 million or $1.5 million full cash. So yes, very, very crazy 2023 right now. I don't want to say that everything is terrible. It's not. The whole point of, I feel like, this 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, kind of just everything going down, we also have to be reminded that I think no one expected 2021 and 2022 for so much stimmy checks to kind of like come through and for inflation to get that high, but for also so many people spending so much money, going on all these vacations and stuff. So it's kind of like, and stock market doing so well, you never know what will happen in life. It could be really, really great one year, and then it could be really, really terrible the next. At the end of the day, you just don't give up. You just don't throw up your hands and say like, that's it. I'm not going to do anything. Because if you just don't do anything right now, it may not get worse and worse, but it's not going to get any better. So yeah, this video is more for me to just have like a quick reminder of what I'm seeing from 2020 to 2023 and how, well, I mean, all of the years I feel like housing was expensive, but mainly now it's just the interest rate's so high. It's like, what, 7-8%? That makes it even harder. And also there's just not enough inventory real estate wise, at least in California, because the interest rate is so high that a lot of people don't want to let go of their homes. Like, sellers don't want to sell, because if they sell, it's like you have to move somewhere else. And if you move somewhere else, you're going to end up having that 7% plus mortgage rate. And then buyers also are uncomfortable taking on that. So just a big mess right now, because also the Fed is not cutting rates yet. So hopefully they do real soon. And I guess we'll just have to wait. We'll have to wait until the market starts a true bull run in the future and the hiring starts again, because right now I'm still seeing a lot of firing and not enough big companies hiring, to be honest. So take care, guys. I hope you enjoyed my long form rare video, and I will see you guys soon.